Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 16 over-unders to bet. Let's get this money. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And yes, I know you guys are going to say, Lawson, you need a haircut. But we got the Dolphins hat on today because they've won us so much damn money. Let's get to the first game. We're going to go reverse order. Christmas night. We got the Baltimore Ravens at the San Francisco 49ers. Over, under 47. Money, money, money. Money. I'm going under. I absolutely love the under in this game, and it's because both of these defenses. I know everyone wants to talk about Purdy versus Lamar. We know both of these teams are explosive on offense. Like, we can't forget about players like Zay Flowers, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, McCaffrey. The list goes on, but I think both defenses come to play hard, man. And I think this is a playoff-type atmosphere, playoff-type physicality. And I do worry about the Ravens' offense in this one. Like, one thing people forget is that I think this Ravens offensive line matches up really poor with the 49ers front seven. I think the 49ers front seven can dominate this game. And if you looked at how they controlled the game against Hurts and kept Hurts in the pocket, I think that's bad news for Lamar and them boys and the Ravens. And you do look at Purdy. We do see the explosion. We do see McCaffrey having a career year. But I respect this Ravens defense. They come at you in a lot of ways. They're aggressive. They slang in blitzes. I think the Ravens get a lot of stops. I think the 49ers get a lot of stops. And listen, man, like, I think the 49ers can get to the low 20s, like 2023, but I don't think the Ravens get past 13, 17 points. I love the under. Make it a damn money pick. Next game, NFC East. We got the New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. Over, under, 42.5 under. I'm worried about this Giants offensive line. And I know this Eagles defense has shown vulnerabilities. We've been talking about this secondary the whole year, and we understand that. You added Matt Patricia to call the plays. I don't think it helps, but maybe we see some improvement. But I'm worried about this Giants offensive line. I mean, they're so bad, man. Like, even when they beat the Commanders, what did they give up? 8, 9, 10 sacks, and it just seems like week in and week out, this Giants offensive line loses the physical battle, but they're also losing the mental battle. When you let the Saints' old defensive line whoop you, I don't think the Giants can get over 10 here. And I know a lot of people want to go over because, listen, man, every time Hurts has his back up against the wall, this man comes out and responds, and he puts up points. But I'm going under. Respect the Giants' defense. I have no respect for the Giants offensive line, and I've been watching football for a long time, man. Over like 25 years. This is the worst offensive line I've seen. Under. Next game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. Over, under, 41.5. Over. And you do worry about going over in Chiefs games. You know, when Rashee Rice, when Justin Watson are your two best receivers, it is an issue. And like I've been saying all year since week 3, week 4, I like this Raiders defense. I'm not saying they're elite or anything along those lines, but they're a very competitive unit that brings their lunch pail to work. But I do think both teams can get to the 20s here. Like, I'm seeing like a 27-20 game. I don't know how the Raiders are going to generate points, but we know the Chiefs, they play up or down to the competition. I think their defense plays down this game. Like I said, I don't know how Aiden O'Connell's going to do it, but I do think they put up some points, and I do think Mahomes moves the ball. I'm going over the 41.5. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the Denver Broncos. Over, under, 34.5. I'm going over. Listen, I know this has underwritten all over it. We got Zappy. We got Russell Wilson. We got the hoodie Bill Belichick and his defense versus the Broncos offense that just isn't very good. I do think this goes over. I think the Patriots keep it close, and I think this Patriots offense and team overall, I feel like they're starting to look better. I'm going over. There's very little science involved. Next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals, Murray at the Chicago Bears, the Bears over under 43.5 under. I love it. And I know the weather's supposed to be good. I know this is a Cardinals defense that can't stop the run, but I'm going under. I love what the Bears defense is doing, but I also absolutely hate everything Justin Fields is doing. And you guys know, man, I was the Fields defender, and I never said he was going to be elite or he was going to be accurate. I never said anything like that, but I did think he would be one of those guys who can make 4 or 5 gigantic plays in a game and change the landscape of a game in just one play. But we're just not seeing that with Fields. He's regressing. He's not good enough. And I do think this Bears defense matches up very well with the Cardinals. I think both teams can move the ball. It's just, we know both of these teams struggle in the red zone. I'm going under the 43.5. Next game, we got the Dallas Cowboys, them boys, at the Miami Dolphins, over under 50.5. When you say Dolphins, I say over. It's that simple. Do I want to bet it? No. I do think Dak Prescott and this Cowboys offense responds. Last week against the Bills was absolutely embarrassing, man. And, you know, you can use the excuse Zach Martin got hurt early or they had the flu, but I think the Cowboys will respond, and I think Big Mike will have these boys ready to play. And also, like, I do think the Fins defense is getting better as the year goes on. I know they haven't beat the marquee teams or made marquee plays against the better teams in this league, but I do like how Jalen Ramsey is covering. I do think he can cause some problems for CD Lamb. That's why it's not a money pick. Also, when you play the Cowboys, you always have to worry about Micah Parsons. And we know Tua has been moving in the pocket well this year. He hasn't been hit a lot. This Miami Dolphins offensive line has surprised, but there is always that threat. I'm going over, but I explain why I'm not betting it. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the Tampa Bay Bucks, over under 42.5. I'm going under, but if Lawrence plays this game, like I see like a 27-24 game easy. It's just, we don't know if Lawrence is going to pass concussion protocol, and that's why we can't really touch this one. I think this Bucs defense is overrated, and I also think the Jags defense is overrated. But as of right now, with a backup, I'm going to go under. Maybe we'll have to revisit this if Lawrence gets cleared. Next game, we got the Washington No-Names at the New York Jets. Over under 37.5. Money. Under. When you say Jets, I say under. Listen, man, I think this Jets team is terrible. And we know this Commanders defense has transformed into one of the worst defenses in the league. But I just don't think the Jets can do much. And when you got Trevor Siemian and when you got a poor offensive line, you're just not going to win too many battles and you're not going to put up too many points. And the way Sam Howell has been playing is absolutely treacherous to watch. And we saw Jacoby Brissett coming for the Rams in the Rams game last week, and Jacoby's moving it up and down. He put up down there 17 points in a quarter and a half. And with Sam Howell there against the Jets defense, I absolutely hate that matchup. I think he might be carted off in a stretcher. I mean, he just holds the ball too long, man. And there's plays to be made. This Commander receiving group is pretty damn good, and Sam Howell's just not getting the most out of him. I think the Jets play hard. I think the Jets hit them, and we're not getting Rodgers, and I don't think anyone's going to watch it, but I'm going under, making a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Tennessee Titans, over under 41.5. I'm going under, no science. I mean, are we getting Tannehill or are we getting Malik Willis? I mean, that hasn't been made official yet. And this Hawks defense, they struggle in the secondary. They're struggling to cover people. Yeah, we know the Titans aren't a team to throw it. Will we see Will Levis? Man, honestly, I don't think it makes a difference. I'm just going under, and I don't have a good read on this one. Let's be realistic about it. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns at the Houston Texans, Over under 40. I'm changing my pick to Browns to win this game from Tuesday's show. I think Browns winning the cover. I do think Case Keenum can slang it, though, and Case Keenum has his issues. He's very old, but I like the over in this game. I really do. Now, we did see Flacco had a little bit of a calf injury. He didn't practice today. But I think both teams can get into the 20s. And we know this Browns defense is absolutely lights out at home. But look at how they play on the road. And we need to remember one thing about the Browns. Even if their defense is shutting people down, they will turn the ball over. They will throw pick sixes. And they make 5 or 6 critical errors a game. And why are critical errors called critical errors? It's because they lead to points. They'll make mistakes. They'll keep the Texans in this game. And I also think Case Keenum and that Noah Brown connection look good, scary good. And no, I don't want to exaggerate, but Noah Brown does seem to be playing better. And we know the Texans offense isn't what it was without Tank Dell, but I do think the Texans are able to move the ball. And I do think the Browns will make mistakes. I'm going over the 40. Next game, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Carolina Panthers. Over under 36.5. Money, 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 money. We've been betting the Panthers under pretty much the whole year. I'm going under, making a damn money pick. Making a damn money pick. And listen, this Packers offense, I get why people got excited about them, but I think there's bigger problems with this team other than Jordan Love. And I know Joe Barry's defense, listen, it's like Swiss cheese. And if the Panthers offense does go off, it could be against the Packers. But I'm going under here because I feel like this Panthers defense has enough will, enough talent to get stops. And I just don't like Jordan Love on the road. Like, I don't like him that much at Lambeau, but Jordan Love on the road isn't something that gets my heart pumping, and it's not something that leads to a lot of points. Like, listen, man, I think both teams are in the teens. Like, I see like a 17-13 type score, and you do wonder, can Bryce Young exploit this Packers defense? It's just, they just don't make enough plays, man. But I really think Bryce Young is heading to bust potential. We haven't really seen much improvement out of him. He had a decent game against Tampa, but other than that, he just looks worse. He looks worse than the week 1 version we saw of him. I'm going under the 36.5, making a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Indianapolis Colts at the Atlanta Falcons. Over under 44.5. I'm going over. Listen. It looks like we're going to get Heineke this week. We know the Falcons' offense looks better in the Mercedes-Benz Dome, Georgia Dome, whatever the hell they're calling it right now. Like, I do think the Falcons can get to 20s, and this Falcons defense, I do feel like they're getting worse as the season goes on. But we know they're good for an interception, which can lead to points. But also, man, the Colts have been going over this whole year. And one problem with the Colts defense, I mean, we saw them play really good against the Steelers' run game last week, but the Colts defense, they've been easy to pound and they've been easy to run the ball on. And the Falcons are the wrong team to be playing if you have problems stopping the run. And I do like this matchup for Minshew. I just feel like Minshew and Shane Steichen are in complete symbiosis. And I said it earlier this week, like, I think Shane Steichen is the coach of the year. Like, I'm open for debate. I understand why people didn't like me saying that. But this man has been an absolute colossus at play calling. He'll put Minshew in good positions. Like, I think both teams get to the 20s. I'm going over. I don't want to bet it, though. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Los Angeles Chargers. Over, under 43.5, over. I do prefer to bet the Bills team total. I know it's risky when you got a chance of a blowout, but this Chargers defense has been booty cheeks the whole year. I mean, whether it's because of Brandon Staley, whether it's the combination of the talent level. We just know you can run up on them. Like, look at what the Dolphins did to him. Look at what the Lions did to them. Both times the Chargers were at home. I think the Bills get to the 30s. I'm going over. We just don't know what we're going to see out of Easton Stick or whatever his name is. I'm going over. And it's only on Peacock, so I bet a lot of people will need to bet this to watch the game. Like, I'll watch it, but them putting the game on like Peacock and paywalling it away is just lame, especially when the game is absolute trash. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Over, under, 37 under. But I do have a little bit of doubt because we have to be realistic. This Bengals defense hasn't been playing all that great. The Steelers defense hasn't been playing all that great. And I do think we need to give Browning some credit. Am I going to go like the media and have like a circle jerk and say he's going to be starting quarterback for a team next year? No, I'm not going to go that far. We have to see more and look at him in the first half against the Vikings. But I got to go an under. The only reason why I'm not betting the under is because, listen, I've never been a big Kenny Pickett guy, but we know Kenny Pickett is better than Mitch Trubisky. I used to think there wasn't a big difference between them, but when you watch Mitch Trubisky play quarterback, it's like a fucking struggle session, man. And this Bengals defense is vulnerable, but we know someone like Mitch Trubisky cannot exploit that. I'm going under the 37. Lots of mystery and doubt about Pickett's status. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions at my Minnesota Vikings. Over, under, 47. Money. I'm going under. I absolutely love this under. Brian Flores against Goff. I know Goff's back in the dome, but on the road to Minnesota. And I'm worried about this Minnesota quarterback situation. And credit to what O'Connell's done this year. But listen, when you got a quarterback like Nick Mullins, or look at what happened with Josh Dobbs, like, they're decent for the first two games. Like, you're going to see the best of them. But every single game they get worse. The more tape, the more they suck. And I really think the Vikings need to give Jaren Hall a try here. It looks like they're going Nick Mullins, and we know what we're going to get from Nick Mullins. This Detroit defense is vulnerable. We know they're getting worse as the year goes on. But I don't think Nick Mullins is the guy to exploit that. And I don't know if this Minnesota team can block Aiden Hutchinson. And then also, like, I do like the way Flores matches up with this Vikings offense. Goff struggles with a lot of things. He struggles when teams drop 8. Flores does that a lot. He struggles with zone blitzes. That's Flores' MO. I think the Vikings defense has a good game, and I think the Lions defense has a better one. I'm going under the 47, making a damn money pick. Thursday night football. We got the New Orleans Saints at the Los Angeles Rams. Over, under, 46.5. I like the under. I really do. These Thursday night games are hard to predict. We've been really good with it. We pretty much go under every week. But one reason why is because the Saints offense is stagnant. And even if they get to the red zone, they just don't have a lot of creativity. And Carr's just not playing with a lot of confidence to throw in those tight windows. And this Saints defense is beaten up, man. And when Cam Jordan is still your best pass rusher, we know the problem with the Saints. Their interior defensive tackles are just terrible. And I think the Rams will be able to run the ball, but I don't think both teams are going to be moving the ball that well. And there is a possibility the Saints offense just lays a complete egg. I'm going under the 46.5. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. The best gambling show on the internet. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Let's get this money. It's been a fun year getting this cash with you.